You're listening to Soundside. I'm Libby Denkman. Idaho's governor has ordered that flags be flown at half-staff following the killing of 2 firefighters and wounding of a third in Coeur d'Alene yesterday. Kaye Thornbrugh is a reporter with Coeur d'Alene Press, and she's been following this story. It's a strange and disturbing one, Kaye, and I know you've been working hard over the last 24 hours to cover it. Thank you very much for being here.
Oh, thanks so much for having me.
So give us the tick-tock of what happened in Coeur d'Alene on Sunday, starting when firefighters were responding to what they thought was a brush fire, right? What happened?
Right. Well, authorities have confirmed that first responders, including members of the Coeur d'Alene Police Department and Kootenai County Fire and Rescue, responded to the east side of Canfield Mountain in Coeur d'Alene around 1:30 to a reported brush fire. And soon after arriving, while they were still getting the lay of the land, they quickly came under gunfire from an unknown attacker.
So the firefighters show up to a brush fire. They come under fire. What happens next?
Well, 2 firefighters who have not been publicly identified at this time, one from each agency, were fatally injured in the initial attack. A third was seriously wounded and underwent surgery last night. We're told that he is in stable condition but is still fighting for his life. Meanwhile, a number of local agencies from around the county, from surrounding cities, from over the state line in Spokane, Washington, began converging on Coeur d'Alene and on Canfield Mountain, though for hours it was nearly impossible for fire crews or for law enforcement to approach because of the danger posed by that shooter.
And there was a fire burning, right, Kaye? So they had dual sets of circumstances where the fire is a risk for that area, I would assume, the northern Coeur d'Alene area. And then you also have somebody that is potentially, going to shoot at you if you come to respond to it. I mean, that seems like it poses a very specific challenge. How did this resolve? What happened?
It did pose a really serious challenge and a serious risk both to our first responders and to the community members who were, for a time, unable to evacuate from the mountain because of the threat of that unidentified assailant. And eventually it resolved when police honed in on a cell signal that Kootenai County Sheriff Bob Norris later confirmed had been in one place for a while, was determined to likely be the suspect. Police exchanged gunfire with the suspect and later found him dead with a weapon nearby. They recovered his body. And from there, law enforcement was able to lift the stay-in-place orders for residents who were still on the mountain, and fire crews were finally able to move into this fire that had grown to about 15 to 20 acres in size at that time.
And have they knocked that fire down at this point, Kaye? What is the status of that?
As of this morning, the fire had grown to about 25 acres in size, but fire crews are actively working on it.
And how about the injured firefighter? How are they doing?
Most recently, county authorities confirmed that he's in stable condition, but still very serious condition after undergoing surgery on Sunday night.
Do we know anything at this point about the shooter, about possible motives here? What was going on with them?
At this time, all we know for sure is that the suspected shooter was a 20-year-old man named Wes Raleigh. At this time, authorities and local reporters are still investigating what, if any, ties he had to the community here in North Idaho. His motives, his background are still unknown to us at this time.
And what about the community? I mean, Canfield Mountain, popular spot for hikers. Coeur d'Alene, many people in the Seattle area, in our audience area, enjoy vacationing there. This has been a story that has captured nationwide headlines. What can you tell me about the community's response, Coeur d'Alene, and especially the Canfield Mountain area?
Well, as you can imagine, this is a tremendously difficult time for the community here in Coeur d'Alene and for Kootenai County as a whole, especially during a time as we are gearing up for the 4th of July holiday. This is normally a time in Coeur d'Alene when we are celebrating our first responders and just our community and what makes our community a great place to live. at a normal time. So this has absolutely rocked our community. Last night, people were coming together very quickly. There was a sort of impromptu gathering near the hospital when the deceased firefighters were transported from the hospital to Spokane, where people were coming together with signs, with flags, embracing, just kind of leaning on each other at this time. Today, we are starting to see the business community coming together, looking for ways that they can support our first responders and our firefighters as a whole, as well as how they can support the families of these firefighters specifically.
Mm. Well, I'm thinking about you and everybody in the community as you try to reckon with what has occurred here, the murder of 2 firefighters and a third that has had to fight for his life. Very difficult story to cover, Kaye, and I really appreciate your time. Kaye Thornbrugh is a reporter with Coeur d'Alene Press. Kaye, anything else you are going to be following here as details continue to come out, as things develop?
Well, today we at the Coeur d'Alene Press are really focused on learning what we can about the suspect in this case, learning what we can about the firefighters who, tragically were killed in this attack, as well as the firefighter who is still fighting for his life, and just really focusing on the ways in which our community is coming together during this time.
Kaye Thornbrugh, Coeur d'Alene Press. You can find more at cdapress.com. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Soundside. This show is only possible because listeners support us. If you're able to give right now, please check out the show notes for a link to donate. And don't forget, you can listen live on KUOW 94.9 FM Seattle at noon and 8 p.m., Monday through Thursday, or anytime online at KUOW.org.